What is going on, Scorpio placements? This is your remainder of 2024 North Node reading. So this is intended for those of you who have Scorpio, I'm sorry, as your North Node placement. Okay. It doesn't matter if you follow Western or Vedic astrology. I now lean more towards Vedic astrology. It just resonates a lot more for me personally. But to each his own. Okay. So this is just, in general nature for those of you who identify with your Scorpio North Node placement. All right. So all these cards represent questions. Or I mean, every, stack represents questions. These black ones on the top are clarifying cards. So I will touch on those after we dive into the initial, cards. Okay. So we are going to start with your theme card, Scorpio, and just kind of get like a generalized idea of what you guys can look forward to, what may be coming in for you, maybe changes that are going to be taking place as it relates and pertains to your North Node. All right. So, like I said, this is for intended for the remainder of the year. For those who don't know, most of you may, others that do not, the real new year is actually not on January 1st. Okay. The real new year is actually on the spring equinox. Please look that up. It's around the ending of like March, right? The ending of March going into April. So, so let's get into your messages here, Scorpio. So, what it feels like is some of you Scorpios have been really maybe going through a really rough period getting onto your North Node path, okay? Getting into your North Node energy. It feels like some of you are have been in this energy of really trying to maybe cultivate a safe space, to create a safe space to I'm hearing right. Maybe it feels like some of you have been really working hard on trying to get things in alignment, get yourself maybe back on track. For those of you that maybe have been feeling like you're off track, I personally stopped identifying with feeling like I'm out of alignment. Even when I don't feel like I'm in alignment, I choose to know that I'm always in alignment. Everything I do is going to benefit me or help me and support me one way or another. So I don't have to ever worry about not being where I'm meant to be or where I need to be at any given point in time. It's been really helpful, actually. So some of you may be seeing dragonflies. That may be a insect of significance for some of you. It could also be serve as like a spirit totem of some sort. You may want to look up the significance, the meanings of that. But I will show you, at least tell you what this is my personal deck that I made, that I created. Signs and Synchronicities Oracle deck. Okay, so if you're interested, feel free to check that out. So Dragonfly. Luck is changing positively. Keep your eyes open. Independence, maturity, power, poise. Live in the moment. Be present. See beyond your mind. Use your intuitive sight. Accept/discover your own unique abilities. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Connecting with like minds. Let your light shine. Okay, so some of you Scorpios are really being, asked and, at this time to really put yourself out there as well, as what I'm getting here. There's, exchanging gifts. Six of Wands is here as well as the sun. Okay. And then this heat energy, all this yellow, like I just realized, do you see all this yellow and fire energy going on here, Scorpio? Okay. So it feels like some of you, this is about your passion, your drive, your desire, your, I'm saying 333, three cards, 333. Some of you may be seeing threes. Threes may be a significance. That could be an age for some of you. That could be a life path for others of you. But a lot of fire energy going on here. So, but anyway, like I was saying, it just feels like you guys have been really going through a difficult time. I do feel like that is over though. For some of you, even if it doesn't feel like that, then this is your indication letting you know that you're very close. I'm feeling a completion type of energy. Some of you may be seeing 10-10 quite a bit. I'm also getting completion with this 27 here. 27 reduces to 9. 9s represent completion, like the ending of a cycle, things like that. I'm also getting hermit energy, Virgo energy, because the hermit in the tarot is the 9 in the deck of the major arcana. So some of you may be dealing with Virgo. Virgo placements might be a significance, during this time for your North Node. So let's get into your messages. So first card out is regeneration. Card number 46, which reduces to a 10. Did we just talk about 10s? I haven't looked at any of these cards yet, by the way, you guys. So that's why I pre-shuffle them in advance so you can see, like, I'm not checking them. Okay. I didn't pick them out, but we just literally talked about the 10s and I flipped this over and it's 46. So I'm automatically taking that as divine confirmation. So like I said, some of you may be seeing 10-10. This, like I said, is an indication of, like a new start, a fresh, new beginning. Some of you, um, this is your indication to let you know that it feels like you guys are really close, Scorpio. It feels like you guys are stepping into a new cycle. For some of you, it's a brand new timeline. I'm hearing a timeline shift. So some of you may be quantum leaping into a different timeline, um, followed by it's time. Okay. So it feels like for those of you that have been maybe in this energy of kind of like recluse, meaning like the Virgo hermit energy, where you guys have been maybe in hiding or just kind of like to yourself, I feel like that is not by mistake. Okay, I feel like some of you have been maybe having a hard time maybe getting things done, or like, why do I feel so like I don't want to do anything, blah blah blah, things like that. I don't feel like that's for no reason. I definitely would recommend giving yourself grace when you don't feel like doing anything, or when you feel like you don't have the energy you need. It feels like it's spirit's way of basically trying to sit you down to help you restore and recharge your energy, because it feels like some of you have a lot of things that you're about to come into. It feels like some of you have a lot of success, recognition, um, admiration, different things like that. Maybe people wanting to, give you things, gift you things, take you out, support you in some type of way, maybe create things with you, collaborate with you, maybe reward you on something you've created, however that translates. It just feels like you guys have maybe been in a difficult period, and that is shifting. If it hasn't shifted yet, you're about to see the shift. Okay. That's why spirit, it feels like this is saying here, regeneration is important. It's time for you to regenerate. It's time for you to recharge, because it feels like some of you have a lot of things coming up that maybe you're unaware of, and spirit needs you to be ready. Spirit needs you to be, as prepared as possible, energetically speaking, so you can, be as present and, get things done, do what you have to do as things continue to shift for you and change, right? So, first question going into your reading, Scorpio placements, um, is where are you guys at currently? How's this, or no, how's your North Node journey been for you up until this point? How have things been for you up until this point? So we had a couple that came out, all the cards that came out, your spread so far um has had the most cards that have come out on its own. So I took them. So I'm gonna do my best to just get through the messages and not, make it as lengthy. I'm not trying to I never make my videos intentionally lengthy, but I'm just saying I'm gonna do my best to, you know, get through this without it being a super extra long reading. Okay. I really don't have the energetic bandwidth for that today anyway. So, Scorpio placements. We have 10 of Wands in reverse. Okay. So, this is your basically the past energy as it pertains to your North Node. Where have you guys, what energy are you coming out of? Where have you basically been coming from? Okay. So, we have the 10 of Wands in reverse, as well as the Fool in reverse. And that is clarified by the Empress. Interesting. So what it feels like, Scorpios, is that some of you have been in this energy of maybe just being really receptive, maybe kind of like not, it feels like some of you really been maybe in your more feminine energy. Okay. It doesn't matter if you're a man or woman, but I mean your feminine, meaning your creative energy. Okay. Let's say that. Um, it feels like some of you have really been in this energy of maybe not wanting to do things, not wanting to do much. Maybe just kind of feeling like I just, some of you, I'm gonna be keep it a thou with you, is that some of you have been in this energy of, so trigger warning really fast. I'm not saying this to offend anybody. I'm just, giving you what I'm getting. But some of you have been in this energy where it feels like of like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do. All right, my bad. My alarm went off. So anyway, feels like some of you have been in this energy of just like maybe not wanting to do much, of maybe just wanting to feel like, like I don't like, I just want to receive. Like I don't want to do anything. I don't want a responsibility. I just want to get paid to breathe, right? Without having to like take any risk, without having to like do anything extra, without having to, overexert myself, things like that. And that's giving me and that's indicative here, especially with these two that came out, is that some of you have been in that energy because some of you are burned out, Scorpio. Okay. I feel like some of you have been maybe, just really, like I said, going through a really rough period where you've essentially burned yourself out. Okay. Whether it's you're overworking yourself, you're doing too much, you're traveling too much, you're, maybe taking on other people's energy, you're taking on too many responsibilities or taking on shit that don't belong to you, whatever the case may be. Okay. It's like some of you have really been in that energy of, like I said, not wanting to do much. Now, other alternative message that I'm also getting here for some of you, this could be a separate group of you, or a different group of you, I should say, is some of you have been in this energy of, um, I feel like some of you, it's like something has, it's like whatever you've been carrying for some of you Scorpios, it's like you have finally allowed yourself to release it. Okay. It feels like it didn't, and it's something that didn't take maybe a lot of effort. Okay. It didn't maybe require a lot of thought. Okay. But for some of you, it definitely did result in some type of inheritance, divine inheritance. For some of you, it definitely could have resulted in some type of positive upswing in your finances where things are just growing, things are just elevating, evolving, things just going in a really positive direction. That's like I get at. It's not for all of you, but for those of you, that's where some of you have been, in this energy of um some of you also have been taking on too much, where it's been keeping you from taking some sort of risk or doing something new or putting yourself out there in a different kind of way. Some of you have been, maybe receiving so much abundance to where, and that's great, right? But sometimes if we take on too much and we don't allow ourselves to get receive support or outsource things that we shouldn't be doing all by ourselves, all like taking on so much to where even if you can afford to have help, you're choosing not to have it. Okay, some of you have been in that energy as well, and this is where again spirit is saying it's time to allow yourself to like offload. I'm hearing offload some or outsource some of your responsibilities. Okay, some of you have been in this energy of maybe taking on so much, but yet you're not, you wonder why you're burned out, but you're not like offloading onto anybody else. You're not allowing the universe to bring in others to support you. Okay, like I said, it's not for everybody, but that's for some of you. And that's why again, for those that resonates, this is where spirit is saying it's time to recover, it's time to recharge, it's time to to heal for some of you. Okay, so let's keep going. Where are you guys at currently? Where's your energy at currently? And all this is energy, right? So you can take it, leave it, adopt it, apply it, do what you will. All right. So where you guys at currently is, so we have the Fool here is major arcana. We have two more major arcanas that came out for you, Scorpio. So we have Justice, which is Libra's major arcana, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is typically Sagittarius energy. Okay. So seems like where you guys are at currently is some of you are starting a new karmic cycle. Okay, some of you are maybe it feels like seeing the fruits of your labor, where it's like where what you've been working on, all the effort, the energy you've been putting in, it feels like for some of you it's finally paying off. It's finally putting you, like I said, in a positive influx of abundance or a positive upswing in your finances, a positive increase in your finances, where you're taking more in without, what I'm saying, there's like a good balance between what's going out and what's coming in. Okay, so clarifying that is the Three of Cups. This is really beautiful, you guys. So this really feels like an energy of things being on track. For some of you, this is a reconciliation, could be like a reconciliation energy. Okay, someone that maybe wants to make things right with you, someone that wants to have a new beginning with you. Okay, obviously, I'm not sure how that really plays into your North Node energy, but your North Node is the sign that represents us getting out of our comfort zone. For some of you, this is about diving deeper into the mysteries of yourself. Okay, for some of you Scorpios, this is more so about diving into the depths of yourself, of your own darkness, that some of you maybe have all your life avoided, right? um so So yeah, it feels like some of you Scorpios are currently in this energy of, clearing karmic debts. It is what this feels like. Okay, because both these represent karma. Both these cards represent karma, and like closing of a cycle is to restart a new one, basically, right? So it feels like some of you have closed out some sort of karmic cycle. Okay, you've maybe completed something, let something go, cleared some type of energy out to where it's now putting you in a pod. Like I said, it's putting you in a positive state of flux, basically. Okay, and again, it feels like that's where spirit is saying, give yourself the space and the grace to heal, to rest, relax, recuperate, regenerate. You know what I'm saying? Like, start, kind of like reset your energy, recalibrate your energy. Okay. So it feels like, whatever is happening right now, it feels really positive though. Okay. Some of you, this definitely could be, new cycles, new starts, new beginnings, new opportunities that are presenting themselves, reasons to celebrate, because that's also what the Three of Cups represents, is celebrations. Okay, being supported, your friends, family being around you, things like that. um so it feels like whatever you guys have been working on, or however it is that you've been pursuing your north node, your destined path, right? It's going in a positive direction right now. Okay. So let's keep going. What is ahead? Whoa, let's see. What is ahead for you guys? What is ahead? What is possible? So we had Five of Swords. Interesting. So the Five of Swords is clarified by the Princess of Cups, which is the Page of Cups in the tarot, which is represents your sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. We have the Queen of Swords, and we have the Lovers. Interesting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 major arcanas. We're not done yet, but 5 major arcanas so far, Scorpio. So, like I said, this definitely can be a pretty conflicting period, okay, for you guys. Some of you, it could be definitely the reason why relationship for some of you stuff is coming up at this time is because while some people tend to think that because they're two different categories or topics of discussion, so to speak, topics or areas of life that one doesn't affect the other, and that's so farthest from the truth. So it feels like for some of you, maybe someone you're dealing with, this is coming up at this time because it's affecting where your path is taking you or where you're going in the future. Okay. Because when we allow certain connections to come into our space, to then it can easily, it has a potential, I should say, to shift what direction you go based on the decisions you make or don't make, right? Actions you take or don't take. It's, it affects regardless. So it feels like for some of you Scorpios, what's ahead is that if it feels like some of you have definitely a potential um to continue being on a path, on your path that is ultimately not only for your highest and greatest good, but for your on your highest timeline, right? And it feels like some of you may have people around you that aren't maybe necessarily gonna be in agreement with maybe your decisions or maybe changes you're making, things that you're doing, things like that. It feels like some of you may have people that are going against what you're saying or maybe trying to manipulate their way back into your experience for some of you because, oh, I just did remember Mercury is in retrograde till December 15th, just so you know. So that does automatically bring things back up from your past, okay, to see, have you learned? What was this trying to teach you? Are you still over it? Do you still need this thing? Are you ready for the next thing, right? All those different things. It's basically a period of reflection, kind of like an annual review, so to speak, but of your life, right? Is this working? Where, how do we need to make adjustments? Things like that. Okay. So it feels like what's possible here though is you may have people, like I said, around you that aren't really maybe making it easy for you for the decisions that you're trying to make right now, maybe the things that you're trying to eliminate from your life, whether it's habits or people or connections. It's like people, not everyone is going to make this easy for you. Okay. Not everybody is going to like I said, agree, but it's like someone's not going to take no for an answer, or it's like they're not going down without a fight, so to speak. Okay, you're going to know if that where that applies to you, um, but like I said, there is an opportunity here. Some of you may have been in this energy of really not knowing what direction to go, not knowing where things are going, when it's going to happen, but there's an opportunity here as well to really tap more into your childlike energy, okay, your inner child, that part of you that is optimistic, that part of you that knows that things can definitely go in your favor, things can definitely shift in a very positive way. That part of you that may not see the plan ahead but can choose and know that I'm always taken care of, things are always working out for me, that I'm always, provided for, right? Some of you, this period maybe that's coming up at this time, maybe kind of like having you question, maybe leaving you questioning what's ahead, questioning the future, questioning, am I going in the right direction? Because maybe things aren't unfolding the way you want them to, or how fast you think they should. Okay. You have to realize, oh, divine timing is at play here. Okay. Because the Wheel of Fortune also represents timing, the universal timing, the timing of the universe, not our timing as an individual. Okay. It's time, right? But divine timing is at play here. So I feel like it's really important for you guys to do your best to stay as grounded and balanced as possible right now. Okay. So what does Spirit want you to focus on at this time? So we have the Four of Cups And the Four of Cups is clarified by the Hermit. Look at that. Another major arcana. And we already talked about the Hermit earlier, and then here it is. Okay. The 9. So, like I said, some of you are definitely ending some sort of cycle at this time. So, Spirit is wanting you to focus on, it feels like for the remainder of 2024, is it feels like some of you are really being asked to maybe choose yourself at this time. Okay. It feels like some of you, like I said, may be getting invitations, you may be getting invited out, you may be getting offers, opportunities, but it feels like some of you are being asked right now to not settle, okay, to not maybe accept the first offer or opportunity that's presented to you, and maybe instead take some time to go within and connect to yourself. Go within and ask yourself, tap into your own intuitive guidance to see, what the next step is, or if this is something I should pursue, or if this is an opportunity I should, I would benefit in taking, right? Whatever that is for you. Okay. But what I'm also getting here, Scorpio, is that it feels like some of you would really benefit in really allowing yourself to dive deep into, or going within to reflect on, times where you felt rejected, times where maybe you felt overlooked, or underappreciated, undervalued, things like that. For some of you, this is maybe something that needs to be healed, that some of you have been avoiding. Okay. Some of you, it's like that's what this time is about, is that, it's time for the old, maybe the old way of thinking, the old way of being, that old version of you. For some of you, it's time for that it's like all that's dead. It's like an ego death is what I'm getting here. Some of you have gone through that, and it's because it's time. So for some of you, this is maybe even hasn't even played out yet. Okay. So for those of you who feel like that's not my story, this may have just haven't even played out for you yet. Okay. Just something to consider and keep in mind is that, some of you may have a little bit more work to do with healing maybe a mother wound. For some of you, okay, some of you, it's like maybe new doors of opportunity haven't yet presented themselves because there's something maybe you still haven't allowed yourself to let go of, and it could have to do with a mother figure of some sort, or someone that has been really you know uh, providing for you, right? A very important role maybe in when it comes to your, how you view money, the way you view your abundance, and what you're worth, your value, things like that. I feel like for some of you, it has to do with the mother figure. Okay. And so, you know, it's like there's something to learn here though. Okay. It feels like there was something to learn in the situation. And so when you allow yourself to learn what something was trying to teach you, you then don't have to take it personal. You don't have to hold on to it. You can then allow yourself to let it go. And that's what it feels like. Some of you, you're being told it's time. It's time to let this thing go. It's time to let maybe all of that stuff burn to the ground. Like, right, all those, the wounds, the pains, the experiences from the past that, didn't feel good, right? Let all that shit burn to the ground. Okay. So like I said, for some of you, there's something here about, allowing yourself to look at times when you were rejected. Maybe were you rejecting yourself, and that was someone else reflecting that energy back to you, right? So Spirit really wants you, it feels like, for you to look at that at this time, because I feel like some of you may have a hard time receiving when it's time to receive. Maybe you guys ask for, money from Spirit, you want support, but yet when someone, gives you something for free, you're like, oh no, thank you, or no, I don't need it. Stuff like that. It's kind of like, it's a conflicting energy, it's a conflicting frequency, right? You can't ask, say like, hey, can really use some money right now, but someone gives you $10, but because it wasn't 20 or $50, you decide, I don't want it. It's not enough, right? So it's kind of like that, okay? That you're really being asked at this time, Scorpio North nodes, to really consider and look at times where you've maybe rejected yourself, right? And then it was shown, like I said, from another back to you, to show you that, you can't really expect other people to value you the way you feel like you deserve if you can't value yourself that way first, right? So, these, and it feels like I said, that, that's maybe something that some of you have been trying to release, right? In order to step into this abundance, in order to realize how worthy and deserving you actually are, even if you didn't grow up that way, even if you were maybe taught to believe, or you grew up believing that you weren't worthy or deserving of, you know, being completely provided for and taken care of and loved and nurtured, and, all those things. Some of you didn't receive that growing up, right? And then so it makes sense that when we get older and we have other experiences, that we would have those same experiences, by way of what we're attracting by from as a byproduct of our, wounds and traumas that we haven't yet healed. So some of you are really being set down at this time. For some of you Scorpios, you're really being set down to heal. Some of you are really being set down to really dive into you know, these energies of, you know, why do I turn things down, or um why do I reject certain opportunities, right? Is there a lack of belief in myself that I can, you know, receive it, or that I'm worthy of it, or that I can sustain it? Some of you, these are fears, different things that are coming up that you're being asked to address at this time, okay? In order for you to really step into your North Node, there are things that you're going to need to let yourself release in order to step into a new, okay? In order for you to have a true fresh start, okay? It's like some of you, there are wounds that need to be healed, and I feel like for you know, at least one Scorpio I'm connecting to, it has to do with the mother wound, okay? Because mother wounds, a lot of people don't realize how this energy works. Is when you have wounds, when it comes to your mother, that affects your money, your feminine energy, which is all the things feminine related, right? Which is your, like your, for example, just a few, your emotions, your creativity, your ability to receive anything, whether it's opportunities, love, money, a new job, whatever, right? All that, all those things as it pertains to your feminine energy is affected. And then so if you're carrying some type of wound from your own, you know, from your mother, whether it was one that you came into this lifetime with, or one that she, you know, put projected onto you after you're here, you know, either way, it's like there's something that needs to be released here. There's something that needs to be transmuted for some of you. And it's like you're not really going to figure out what that is until you allow yourself to, you know, maybe turn down going out or taking a trip or going on a vacation, and instead let me do some fucking shadow work. Let me go within. Let me, you know, really dive deep into why do I keep turning dates down, or why do I keep turning opportunities down? Why do I keep turning jobs down? You know, why do I keep rejecting things? Where am I rejecting myself? What part of myself am I rejecting, as to what's showing me why I keep rejecting other things outside of me? You see what I'm saying? So some of you Scorpios are really being asked to look at those things right now, okay, for the remainder of the going into the new year. All right. So the energy that is supporting you for the rest of the year is, holy shit, Scorpio, Jesus freaking Christ. So I just want to say really fast that 10 10 10. We talked about the tens earlier. We have the 10 of wands right here. I haven't even showed you the cards out of my hand yet, but we have the 10 of cups here, as well as the 10 of swords at the bottom of the deck. Okay, we talked about tens earlier in the reading, and now here it is coming up again. So like I said, some of you may really want to dive deeper into what 10 10 means for you when you see it. Okay, I always recommend trusting your own intuition, tapping into it, at least giving it a chance to give you some insight on why you're seeing it, because it's going to be different, or it can be different every time you see it, whether it's today or even later on in the same day, right? The message it has for you when you that see it one time can be different from the message it has for you when you see it again. So just something to consider. So supportive energy right now is the 10 of cups, and we have you showing up in your own fucking energy, Scorpio, okay, coming out in your own, you know, placement, right? The death card, which is another major arcana, adding to all what we already got going on here. And then we also have judgment, clarified by judgment. This represents your calling. So it's like your calling is supporting you. For some of you, it's like your ancestors are like yelling at you, for some of you, to get on track. For some of you, that is exactly what this supportive energy is. For some of you, it's a passed on loved one. It could be definitely ancestor, someone from your family, okay? Someone that maybe is kind of like coming back just to help you, or kind of like just lowering their vibration just enough to wake you up, just enough to help you with this transition, this transformation. For some of you, it's an ego death that you're experiencing right now. For some of you, that is what this regeneration is about. We talked about that earlier again, about an ego death, about, you know, a part of you that, or a version of you that is dying at this time, or, you know, is in that process going into the new year. Okay, some of you, that is what's supporting you. Is for some of you, it's family. Okay, your family that's supporting you, and it doesn't always have to be your physical kin family, right? This could definitely be family in the ethers, okay, that's supporting this change right now, that's supporting maybe this major ending or this major transformation. This feels like a more spiritual support though. Okay, it could definitely be physical, I'm not, you know, denoting that at all, but energetically, for me in this moment, it feels more spiritual. Okay, the support that you guys are getting right now. It could be, and it could also be, like I said, it could definitely be physical. So this could be physical family. For some of you, this could be your tribe, okay? Meaning the people that you're not blood related to, but the people that you meet in the 3D that are also on the same wavelength, that are here to support you and help you along your journey, along the way, okay? Or, you know, and those seasons can be different for everybody, right? So it really feels like your own North Node, right, is supporting you, Scorpio. That's why it's showing up, right? Your card, okay, as pertains to this placement, is showing up here in your own reading. So it's like, it feels like I said, somebody from the other side though as well is supporting you at this time. So whether this is your higher self or, like I said, an ancestor, it's like someone is supporting you and answering the call and heeding the call, really answering your calling by stepping into your power, stepping into um your divine blueprint, okay, in this lifetime, your divine mission, whatever that is, right? So it definitely feels like some of you are a lot more on track than maybe you thought, but it's going to be, again, important for you to make sure that you're giving yourself time and space and grace to heal, to, recalibrate, recuperate. It's like, someone going into surgery and then trying to go back to work the next day. Depending on the type of surgery, you might need a few days of recovery or even a week or two, sometimes even longer, right? But it's still about giving yourself that space, that grace to acknowledge and accept what has happened, what is different, what has changed, what is no longer here, right? And allow yourself that time and that space and energy, that compassion to heal, to rebuild. Where do I go from here? How do I move forward from here? What adjustments do I make from this place, right? I need to recharge, I need to restore, I need to, refuel my battery, right? What does that look like? It's time, okay? So it's time says you're being asked to move forward toward the dream that you've been carrying in your heart. It's time to bring it out into the world. You're ready. It's time. Now, this doesn't always have, obviously, it could definitely pertain to what this card says exactly. But for some of you, it's just has to simply do with the divine timing, the timing of the universe, meaning that the way things are playing out is playing out exactly how it needs to, when it needs to. Okay. And if that resonates with you, you're on a soul level, you will know that. And you'll be able to, extract the messages you actually need that actually apply to you from this message. Okay. So going forward, what are some signs that you guys either are seeing or should be looking out for the remainder of 2024 as it pertains to your North Node? Like what you can be looking out for, signs that are here to support you on your North Node journey going forward. We have two that came out. Okay. So we have flowers. So some of you, it could be a particular flower. It could be a Hawaiian flower, hibiscus, I'm hearing. So some of you may be seeing hibiscus flowers. I'm hearing also orchids, white orchids. So that could be another flower of significance. You may want to look up the meanings of those flowers, like the spiritual significance behind those. Some of you may be seeing them, and it may be your favorite flower. I'm also getting lilies. Okay, so flowers, and also have infinity. Okay, both of these are from my deck that I put together, Signs and Synchronicities Oracle deck. Okay, so these are it's a deck about the signs that you might be seeing, right? And the meanings, all intuitive meanings about why you might be seeing that sign. So flowers, self-love, acceptance, creativity, connect to nature, spirits, divine feminine / empress goddess energy, simplicity, uplift, positive energy, self-date, roses, lilies, daisies, tulips, refresh your space. Okay. And this is a feminine energy. We're just talking about that, literally, you guys. We're literally just talking about that. So again, like I said, some of you may be getting some, receiving flowers, or maybe just seeing flowers in your walkway. Some of you may all of a sudden have an affinity to want to buy yourself some flowers. If you're being guided to do that, please do that, because, or even receiving flowers from someone, right? By allowing yourself to start just doing those little things, that's going to start also helping and supporting, for those of you where it applies, healing and clearing your feminine wound. Okay, healing that energy and transmuting it into being able to receive more of what you're asking for, right? But it's like, if spirit can't trust you with $5, how do you expect spirit to give you 100, let alone 1,000 or 1,000,000? You see what I'm saying? So this is about, starting where you can in the most simplistic way, like it says, simplicity. Okay, so maybe going about things from the most simplistic route right now, I feel like would be beneficial to you guys, or even as it pertains to your North Node, doing things as simply as possible, right? So we have infinity. And infinity says you're an eternal being, an all-powerful extension of the Most High. Time to take back your power / remember who the fuck you are. Your needs will always be met in abundance. Come through, spirit. Your needs will always be met in abundance. That is exactly what this card represents. Exactly what this card represents. Damn. And I haven't seen this card in a while. I haven't used my deck in a little while, so I don't remember everything that I put on here. I channeled all this shit, so I'm like, ah. So when it resonated, when it, like, the message, is confirmed, like, oh shit. So anyway, your needs will always be met in abundance, undying, immortal, never ending. infinite creator, limitless. This realm isn't what it seems, awakening. Okay. So some of you, that is exactly what this is. Okay. Is that you're going through a spiritual awakening. Okay. Some of you have maybe already, and that is what this regeneration is about. Others of you, it's time for your awakening. Okay. Whether it's your first spiritual awakening in this lifetime or another, right? I personally believe that we have multiple spiritual awakenings because to me, I now get, because I'm going through it, I now get why people say there's levels to this shit. People take it who are in their ego or haven't gone through, they take it as like a hierarchy thing. And that's not what the space that I'm speaking of, it being levels. I'm speaking of it in a sense of like when you're playing a video game, right? As you go through the levels, as you pass each level, it gets harder and harder and harder, right? The bosses that you have to fight to get to the next level become more challenging, right? And the challenges, the obstacles that they put in your path to, on your way to the next, battle or the next level, right? Those challenges become more difficult as well. So, like I said, it feels like some of you are really, this is what this is representing. Your awakening, okay? It's like your own calling is supporting you right now. Okay. It's just a matter of you trusting the messages you're receiving, trusting what you know to be true. So, like I said, some of you may be seeing infinity symbols. If you start seeing that symbol as well as flowers, then obviously this could definitely be your message. If you've already been seeing these, where you keep seeing, infinity symbols everywhere on a necklace or a pendant, or, however, maybe you're seeing eights, okay, because the infinity sign flipped sideways, okay, is an eight, right? So this is what an affinity sign looks like normally, right? But when you flip it sideways, it turns into an eight, right? So some of you may be seeing 888. That could be a life path number for you. You may be born on the eighth. Take it as it applies, right? So um all these major arcanas, Gemini energy here, Taurus energy here, okay? One Virgo energy. One, two, three, four, and Libra energy. Five, six, seven, eight. Eight major arcanas. Did we not just talk about the eight? And then I just count eight major arcanas? That's so fucking crazy. Let me make sure. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Eight major arcanas out of your whole spread, Scorpio. Like I said, so eights are significance. This is the year of the eight, so that it feels like also explains why y'all got so many major arcanas going on here, because your major arcanas, for those that forgot or are unaware, major arcanas in the tarot represent major events that are bound and destined to take place at some point. You can avoid it, as much as you can try to. At least you can delay it, try to slow it down, but at some point or another it's going to play out, right? So that is what the major arcanas represent in our experience. So the fact they are eight of them, okay, especially with these two, the year of the eight, and we're talking about karma, and y'all, this is where you're at currently. So like I said, it's like some of you Scorpios, it's important for you to realize that maybe the things you're experiencing, especially if it's challenging, it's a karmic cycle that it feels like it's ending, it's completing itself, okay? And for some of you, that is what this is. For some of you, it's a karmic cycle, some type of cycle that you've maybe involved yourself with, whether it's with family, because this three of cups can definitely represent family, it can represent friends, third party situations, having multiple people involved in a situation. So however that, applies to you, right? This could definitely represent like you and your parents, type of thing, whatever, right? But then again, like I said, this is again where you're at currently. This is a current energy. So it feels like I said, if you guys are, for those that have been experiencing this energy here, this 10 of swords, where things have been maybe really difficult, this is spirit letting you know and reminding you that what you're experiencing right now as a current energy is a part of a cycle that is completing itself. Okay. We already talked about the nine being completion. We already talked about the tens. The 10 comes after the nine. So that represents the new start, the new beginning. We talked about the generation. Okay. Right. The death, right? The ending of the old life, the old version, in order to step into the new, maybe to awaken to the new version. Okay. The version you're supposed to be in this lifetime. All right. So you guys are being fully supported on your journey, Scorpio. So it's just a matter, I feel like, of, you really allowing yourself to do your best to shift your perspective on, when it comes to the things that you feel challenged by. Okay. Make sure you're speaking up, speaking your truth, making sure you're expressing yourself, being heard, being seen, especially as guided. Okay. But it's like you guys have a lot of success ahead. You have a lot of things, it feels like, to look forward to and also to be grateful for. And the more you focus on gratitude, the more the universe will intentionally put things in your path to be grateful for. Okay. That's just the law of literally the law of attraction, the law of karma, right? is the frequency you put out is what you will receive in return, period. And that's not good or bad. That's just cause and effect, right? The pendulum, when it gets swung that way, it must come back, right? You can hold it there, right? But eventually you have to let it go. Eventually it will swing itself back. And the longer and the higher it is, right, the more force and momentum is built in that, right? So I feel like there's a perfectly good reason behind why some of you are in this energy, or being kind of like pushed into this energy of regeneration, of, you know, maybe recalibrating, going within, um you know, taking time to yourself, by yourself, with yourself. There's a good reason for that. Okay, so even if for some of you are, you know, finding yourself having a lot of conflicts with that, kind of like finding that really difficult, I feel like it's really only ultimately supporting you in really stepping into who you're really meant to be in this lifetime. You stepping into your true authenticity and allowing yourself to cut out anything or release anything, any energies, environments, whatever, mindsets, all that, that doesn't support your divine alignment, that doesn't support this, you know, harmonious path that some of you are, you know, literally coming into. Okay, you're being called into. You're awakening, you know, yourself into this new version, this, you know, new timeline for some of you. Okay, so this is really beautiful though. It's really beautiful. You guys have a lot to look forward to. Just, you know, like I said, continue to trust your intuition. Take time, you know, to go within, because that's where your guidance is going to come from. You might get hints and bits and pieces from different readers and things like that, but the most true and accurate guidance is always, will always come from within. Okay, we're designed that way. So you can always trust what comes from your highest self when you're asking the right questions. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Scorpio North Node placements. And if you did find value, if you did find this reading helpful in any way, shape, or form, you know what to do. I love y'all so much, and I'll